The inside will consist of the centerpiece, 2 large pockets, and 2 smaller pockets. So we will begin by attaching the larger pockets. First thing I will do is place it where it would go, and then with my sanding stick I will sand the area where we will cement it. This will be on the bottom, on the end, and along the top. I'll sand it down to where it will end. Next, I will apply contact cement to the areas where we just sanded, the end and the top and bottom. Make this about 1/8 of an inch wide, or maybe a little more. Now I will do the same thing to the back of the pocket. I'll do the top and bottom edges and the end. And then we will set this aside to dry until it's tacky. After our cement has dried, then we can very carefully place the pocket in position and then press it down. Next, we will attach one of the smaller pockets, and we will use the same method. I will set it in place with my sanding stick. I'll sand it where we're going to apply cement, which will be the top, the bottom, and the end. And then we will do the same thing with the cement. After our cement has dried, we can then carefully place the second pocket, press it down. Now we will do the same thing to the pockets on the other side. Next, with the wing divider, I will put a guideline 1/8 of an inch from the edge on the top side of this assembly, meaning the side above where we have the cutout. This will be the bottom. And now, with a 3/32 4-prong drive punch, I will carefully place it on my line, and I will punch on this line all the way down to the other end. And now, using 1 yard of leather calfskin lace, I'm going to lace with the whip stitch across the top. And now, with a mallet or smooth-faced hammer, it's a good idea to tap down this lace until it lays nice and flat. Not real hard, just a light tap. It is now time to attach the inside assembly to the outside. Now, before I do that, in order to make life easier for us, I'm going to punch along this top edge with my lacing chisel, making sure that I am along the top, this being the bottom. I'll put my guideline, once again about 1/8 of an inch from the edge. I will take a 3/32 inch single chisel and I will punch it into the corner on both ends. And now I will take the 4-prong chisel, and I will punch all the way down to the other end. After we have punched along the top, we can now fasten the inside assembly, and just like we did before, I will place it in the area where I'm going to fasten it, and with my sanding stick I will sand that area about 1/8 of an inch wide, and then the ends. Now, it is not necessary, of course, to sand the top, because the top will be left open. So it will be just the 2 ends and the bottom. And as we did before, now I will apply about 1/8 of an inch wide line of cement along the edge, on the end and the bottom, in the area where we're going to fasten the inside assembly. And we will do the same thing to the ends. And the bottom edges of the inside assembly. We have allowed our cement to dry until it's tacky, and now we can continue. Now we'll cement the inside to the outside. We will do this 1/2 at a time. If you recall, the inside is shorter than the outside. So we will attach 1/2, and then we will fold the other half up and very carefully now line up the corners and the end and stick this in place. Now, you can see the billfold will fold nicely and will not bunch up in the middle when you fold it. This is the reason it's made a little bit shorter on the inside than on the outside. Next, I will use the corner punch to carefully punch the 4 corners to round them. After we have rounded the 4 corners, we can continue with our stitching by once again using the wing divider, making a guideline 1/8 of an inch from the edge on the 2 ends and the bottom. Next, we can continue with our punching once again with the 4-prong 3/32 thonging chisel. We will punch around the 2 ends and the bottom. Please note I use the single punch on the corners. Please note now I am lacing around the edge with the whip stitch using about 3 yards of lace. Notice I have started at one side near the top. This is because this will be a good place to finish and hide the ends of the lace inside.